my name is Daniela and welcome to a new video. So in this video I will be sharing every thought I have while reading Bride by Ali Hazelwood. The community seems to be quite divided on Bride. Some people love it, some people hate it, and I just can't wait to find out where I stand. I've previously loved The Love Hypothesis by the author, but this is a whole different genre. It's a paranormal romance. I don't read a ton of paranormal romance, so we will just see how it goes. I assume that there will be spoilers, so don't watch this if you don't want to be spoiled. And I heard that the sequel is coming out, so maybe you can also use this video as a little recap to refresh your memories. Okay, so I read the prologue. It's very dramatic, isn't it? We are thrown into the wedding of our main character, who is called Misery, and she's a vampire, and she's marrying what's his face? A werewolf, a guy, an alpha. And they think that maybe the werewolves will get aggressive and kill all of them because like the peace between them is so tentative. But instead, the werewolf basically tells her that she smells nice, but she interprets it as him telling her that she stinks. Okay, so the wedding reception. I have to say that the jump from, oh, this is a big bad wolf, to, oh, he's actually good for children, was a bit violent. And we're also figuring out what the deal is with Serena, Misery's human friend. And then we also got the information that the wolf had a mate and she is now the collateral in the human world, or the vampire world. But now it seems that when he smelled Misery, he now thinks that she is his mate. Not her being like, we are as likely to have sex as we are to start a podcast together. Not that it's boring, but can we maybe get to the smut sooner than later? Okay, we got a little bit of something. So Misery is a vampire and they don't eat, they don't have to eat. But when she was in the human world, Serena got her addicted to peanut butter. So now she licks his peanut butter jar, and it's like a bit of a erotic tension out of that. So it's a start. We just got the deep talk on the roof scene, and now I just want to sit on the roof somewhere, but I don't know where I can do that. I guess just going to rooftop bars when it gets warm. I'm almost halfway into the book right now and they haven't even kissed, which is fine. Like, I didn't necessarily expect this to be such a slow burn, but I think it's actually good that, you know, that it will be more rewarding this way, that they're really forming their emotional connection. And yeah, I'm really enjoying the book. I like Misery, the way she's kind of cynical and blunt, and I quite like Lo as well. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I think it's Lo. I think for the fact that he's an alpha, he could be more annoying than he is, so that's good. And I even like Anna and her relationship with Misery. And I really like that Misery is a programmer, well, a hacker. And I know that the women in STEM is a pretty typical thing for Ali Hazelwood books, I think. But yeah, as a woman who works in IT, I'm here for it. Okay, the marking scene. So yeah, isn't it just amazingly convenient that the way to mark her and protect her is to like suck at her neck and other things? I thought that was like the vampire domain, but no, like that was the werewolf doing it. Also, him saying, I need your explicit consent, that's hot. But still, like, why were they doing this ritual like after they've already landed in the enemy territory and the enemies were right there outside of the plane? Like, couldn't they do it like before? I was gonna say we got a dry humping scene, but it wasn't really dry when she was literally like drinking his blood. So did she like have a foodgasm and orgasm at the same time? What just happened? Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room, which is the knotting. So I didn't know what it was. So I didn't know anything about the Omegaverse. I didn't know that knotting was a thing outside of this book. So I definitely learned things. And it wasn't exactly my cup of tea of smut to read about, but it was fine. So yeah, the smutty scenes kind of ended up being just fine. We finally met Serena, and yeah, I really love their friendship slash sisterhood that they have with Misery. I wish she were on page more, but yeah, so nice to see them together finally. So I might not absolutely love the steamy scenes, but you know what I loved? The action scene, like when they are taken prisoners in the vampire nest, and then we find out that Serena can actually shift to be a werewolf, and then there's Lo, brought by Misery's sister, and then they shift, and then they go for it. And I totally thought, like, I thought that they just tore them apart. Like, I totally thought that happened, but strategically, probably wouldn't be the best decision. So yeah, some of them lived, like Misery's father. Or I guess they didn't actually kill anyone, or did they? I don't know if it was said. And I really liked how it developed with Misery's brother, Owen, because she thought that he doesn't give a fuck, but then there were some really sweet scenes between them, and yeah, he stepped up as a potential leader and as a brother, and yeah, it was just so nice to see. I finished the book, so some final thoughts on the romance between Misery and Lo. So I thought that like Lo was absolutely fine, like he was competent as the alpha, and I don't think I have anything to complain about, like his behavior. Like he did the annoying bit, like saying nasty things about Misery and pushing her away, but that was like, you know, to protect her or whatever. So that just kind of happens in fantasy books when like you have like your whole species to think about or whatever. And like in contemporary romances and in life, men do these things all of the time, and it's excused. So like I will excuse that in fantasy settings. So the whole mate, kind of possessive, animalistic nature of the romance and steamy scenes isn't like entirely for me, but I also don't hate it. So for me, the romance was nice, fine. Like I didn't absolutely fall in love with it. So yeah, I think in the end, this book will be 4 stars for me, and I might very well read the sequel. I probably will. The sequel is about Serena and Lo's alpha friend. So I definitely want to see more of Serena. I expect that the romance will probably be kind of more of the same, just a slightly different packaging. But yeah, it comes out later this year, and I think I'm going to read it. So my final thoughts on the books are that I'm so pleasantly surprised, because I was quite worried, because even though I previously liked Ali Hazelwood's book and I want to read more, I'm not a vampire girly, I'm not a werewolf girly, and not a paranormal romance girly in general. The mate thing, not entirely for me, and so is like, you know, drinking blood, biting into veins, not necessarily for me. But I had a lot of fun with this book, and yeah, I appreciated a lot of the elements. I really like the characters, I like the writing, and yeah, the plot ended up being quite fun as well. So all in all, it was such a pleasant surprise, and yeah, I'm really glad I decided to pick it up, and it broadened my horizons for sure. So there you have it. Those are all my thoughts on Bride by Ali Hazelwood. Let me know if you have read the book and what you thought about it. If you watched this far and you don't feel like leaving a full comment, leave me a peanut or nut emoji for the peanut butter. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!